civilization and a beautiful land. Have you ever wondered where Middle East is? Do they play a huge role in the world? You might be wondering, what does this lesson has to do with this presentation? You see, Middle East is known in the West for its food, as a center of religion, and for its often trouble-using history. But it is also known for its history of innovation in philosophy, mathematics, literature, and sciences, which has given us many items, concepts, and institutions that people use all the time. This is Yashmi S. Santa Cruz.
This is Joseph Marcus Vivendia.
And I am Justin Bonaranja.
And we're about to find out some innovations upon discovering Middle East. First item, the toothbrush. A toothbrush is an oral hygiene tool used to clean the teeth, gums, and tongue. It is consists of a head, tightly clustered bristles, of which a toothpaste can be applied. There is also a history of toothbrush in the Middle East. Let us find out. Chopsticks was created as the first toothbrushes from the frayed twigs between 3,500 to 3,000 BC by ancient Babylonians and Egyptians around the Middle East and Northern Africa in the form of a loose box that somehow resembles bristles. It is believed that ancient Egyptians are the ones who invented these chopsticks.
Now, let us find out the development of toothbrush today. Hog's hair toothbrush. The bristles were actually the stiff, coarse hair taken from the back of a hog's neck and attached to handles made of bones or bamboo in the year of 1498 by ancient Chinese. Nylon bristle toothbrush. In the year of 1938, DuPont made the nylon toothbrush that is made of nylon for bristles and bamboo for the handle. Lastly, our modern electric toothbrush. It is made of polyethylene for the body and head, nylon for the bristles, and coils and nickel metal hydride batteries to be charged was invented by Dr. Philippe Guy Woog in the year of 1954 in Switzerland.
Next item, the flying machine. Abbas made his first flying machine in the year of 875 that was constructed on a frame of a bamboo. He covered the bamboo frame with a lightweight silk tooth and a feather of eagle.
Fun fact! After the first flight, Abbas proposed many designs of the flying machine but never flew them. There was a flaw in his design. He didn't design any way of landing successfully. As a result, an accident happened to him during landing which caused serious injuries.
For our third item, the soap. Soap has been invented since 2800 BCE by the Babylonians.
They discovered that combining fats, namely animal fats, with wood ash produced a substance capable of easier cleaning. The first soap was used to wash wool used in the textile industry.
Next up, we have fountain pens. From 10th century Egypt. The fountain pen was made in the year of 953 in Egypt after the Sultan at the same time expressed his frustration at how messy it was using ink and quill.
Did you also know that some countries believe that fountain pens can actually improve academic performance? This is because fountain pens teach children better control over their writing, including reducing the number of mistakes made.
Telling time. From 2000 BC in the modern-day Iraq and Iran. One of the most significant inventions from the Middle East was the clock, and even formalized timekeeping itself.
The system of counting from 0 to 60 originates from 2000 BC in some modern-day Iran and Iraq.
The checks. Check is a written order to a bank to pay a specific amount of money from the drawer's account to the payee's account. The check as a form of payment originates from the sak, the Arabic word for a written vow to pay for goods after they were delivered, was first used in the 19th century Muslim traders.
The system of check was developed in order to avoid carrying large bags of coins and to transport money through dangerous territories.
Did you also know that on November 17, 1869, the Suez Canal, a crucial communication and transportation link between the Mediterranean and Red Sea, opened in Egypt?
Designed to give European powers better access to Middle Eastern, East Asian, and South Asian markets, the Suez Canal is built by France using Egyptian workers over 10 years. The French later then sold the canal to the British, who controls it for 84 years before Egypt nationalizes it. It is wide enough to accommodate most ships and, at 120 miles long, is the longest canal in the world without locks.
Furthermore, on 1906, the excavation in Turkey uncovers the ruin of an ancient city.
The city unearthed with excavation near Angora, Turkey, is the ancient Hittite city Hattusas, the capital of the Hittite Empire during the 2nd millennium BCE. Though the Hittites inhabit Anatolia, they are not the first Turks. The first Turks nomadic tribes who bring Islam from Persia will not settle in Anatolia until about 1030 CE.
1907, first major archaeological exploration took place in the coast of Tunisia. The Tunisian Antiquities Service found bronze statues from a ship that is believed to have sunk en route from Greece to Italy at around 100 BCE. Fun fact: fewer than 200 bronze Greek statues from ancient times survived because they were melted down for their material, which was then recycled into coins and other objects. On February 10, 1925, the first of many institutions devoted to scientific research was established in Haifa, followed by the Hebrew University of Jerusalem in April same year, and the Weizmann Institute of Science in 1946. In addition to its advances in irrigation, agriculture, and medical sciences, Israel also leads research into solar power. Here's a trivia. The Technion Israel Institute of Technology is ranked as one of the top universities in both Israel and the Middle East. It is also in the top 100 universities in the 2022 academic ranking of world universities. During the 1930s and 1950s, oil exploration began in the desert and later offshore, what is now the United Arab Emirates. Only 150,000 people, many of them are nomadic Bedouins, inhabit the land that will compromise the UAE. With no roads, schools, or hospitals or factories, these people will experience one of the lowest standards of living in the developing world until oil is discovered in the region. Here's another fun fact. The Bedouins sometimes touch their noses as a greeting. Linked with pride and dignity, rubbing noses or sometimes touching foreheads shows friendship and respect and is seen as an act of hospitality. In 1947, the Middle East Science Cooperation Office, or UNESCO, was established in Cairo as part of UNESCO. Both have the same goal of resuscitating international and regional scientific research and policy after World War II. UNESCO has specific goals tailored to regional needs such as water conservation and the development of arable land. Here's another trivia. The reason why UNESCO was involved in Egypt was because Egypt was planning to build a dam that would harm ancient temples. In the year 1949, Qatar began producing and exporting oil for the first time in a decade, after its initial discovery. And in 1964, offshore oil production began. Fun fact: Qatar produces approximately 1.3 million barrels per day, making them one of the top 15 oil exporting countries and one of the world's major fertilizer producers. In 1953, the Society for the Protection of Nature in Israel was founded to promote sustainable development of the land. It sponsors tours, research, educational activities, and public campaigns for the environmental protection and historic preservation. Fun fact: in the last 50 years, 260 million trees have been planted in Israel, and they treat 92% of their wastewater and return 70% of it to agricultural use, which is the highest percentage in the world. The next item we have is the elephant clock. This is the centerpiece of exhibition. It's a 3-meter high replica of an early 13th century water clock and one of the engineer marvels of the Middle World. It was built by Al-Jazari and gives physical form to the concept of multiculturalism. It features an Indian elephant, Chinese dragon, a Greek water mechanism, and an Egyptian phoenix, with also a wooden robot in a traditional Arabian attire. The timing of the mechanism is based on a water-filled bucket hidden inside the elephant. Time for another fun fact. The elephant clock was a symbol of status, grandeur, and wealth. The next item we have is camera obscura. The greatest scientist of the medieval world was a 10th century Arab by the name of Ibn al-Haytham. Among his many contributions to optics was the first correct explanation of how vision works. He used the Chinese invention of the camera obscura, or the pinhole camera, to show how light travels in straight lines from the object to form an inverted image on the retina. Here's another fun fact. The camera obscura has been studied throughout the years and was used as a way to safely observe a solar eclipse in the 13th century.
Ali Jason's robe.
This 3-meter reproduction of the famous 12th century by the Andalusian cartographer Al-Yusi was produced in Sicily and is regarded as the most elaborate and complete description of the world made in medieval times. It is used extensively by travelers for several centuries and contained detailed descriptions of the Christian North as well as the Islamic world, Africa, and Far East.
Trivia: Al-Idrisi developed a cartographic system that divided the world into 7 distinct climatic zones.
Among these inventions were the Arabic numerals that are still used today, as well as the algebra and algorithms which are used in all the programming languages today. The period between 8th and 14th century that was later called as the Islamic Golden Age had so many life-changing inventions. This scientific revolution expanded along the whole Muslim empire, from western India in the east to Spain and Portugal in west.
Trivia: Algebra is derived from the Arabic word al-jabr, which means the reunion of broken parts.
There were also many advances in chemistry and astronomy, as well as astrology.
Trivia: The English word chemistry is actually derived from the Arabic word kimya due to the contribution of the scientists during this period.
Did you know that the Syrians were as skillful as the experimental metallurgists? The Damascus-made sword was highly reputable for its mighty strength. The National Geography has a documentary about discovering ancient furnaces in Syria that explain how the Syrians managed to control the right amount or volume of air to be introduced into the furnace of melted iron to oxidize as much of the carbon out of the what would be steel.
Trivia: Sword is a weapon with a long metal blade and a hilt with a handguard, used for thrusting or striking and not typically worn as part of ceremonial dress.
The water clock is a device which measures time through the amount of water passing in or out of a container using weights. It was also invented and used by the ancient Egyptians.
Trivia: Water clock or clepsydra is a timepiece by which time is measured by the regulated flow of liquid into or out from a vessel, and where the amount is then measured. Water clocks are one of the oldest time measuring instruments.
Windmills, they're from 7th century Iran. Some 1,000-year-old windmills in Iran are still in use today.
Trivia: Windmills have existed for at least 3,000 years, mainly for grinding grain or pumping water. The use of windmills to generate electricity happened in 20th century.
The first university. Did you know Fatima Al-Firi? She was the daughter of a rich merchant. She built the world's first university, the University of Al-Firi, in 859 AD in Fez, which is now Morocco. Initially began as a mosque for educational purposes, this was the first degree awarding university in the world, teaching a variety of subjects like Islamic studies, mathematics, medicine, and astronomy. According to UNESCO and Guinness World Records, it is the oldest operating university, preceding the University of Bologna by a century, and is also home to one of the oldest libraries on Earth.
Again, this is Yashame S. Santa Cruz,
This is Joseph Marcus Di Bendia.
and this is Jessica Ivana Aranza. Thank you for watching.